What's going on, guys? Today I have another quick Hackintosh tip for you, and before I get started I want to point out that this tip is going to be for the people that have never Hackintoshed before. If you're familiar with the process, if you've been doing this for a while like I have, then you're probably not going to find much value in this video, because this video is going to be how to create a UniBeast flash drive. In case you're not sure of what UniBeast is, this is how we're actually going to go about installing OS X to our Hackintosh. Since Apple no longer sells their operating systems on a physical DVD, what we have to do is get our hands on a copy of Mountain Lion and create a bootable flash drive or a hard drive partition of which we can boot into and install it to the main drive that way. So before moving on with the tutorial, there are a few things you're going to need. You're going to need at least 8 gigabytes of space, whether it's on a flash drive, which personally I recommend because you can take it to other machines, or a hard drive partition. You need 8 gigabytes that you can boot from on your machine. You're also going to need a copy of Mountain Lion. And in order to get this copy of Mountain Lion, you're going to need to have an existing OS X installation, of which you can open up the App Store and download Mountain Lion. As you can see, when you open up the App Store, Mountain Lion's right over here. Go ahead and click it, and the cost is $20. It's extremely cheap for, in my opinion, the world's best operating system. Not Apple endorsed. I really do enjoy my Mountain Lion, but don't pirate it, don't do anything like that. It's honestly worth the $20. And as I said earlier, you do need an existing OS X installation to do this, not only to download Mountain Lion, but to actually run UniBeast. So if you don't have a Mac that you can personally use, maybe you have a friend, maybe the school computers will let you do it, although I doubt it. Or if all else fails and you're stuck on a Windows PC, you could try to get a DVD of Snow Leopard and then try to install that to a virtual machine, but that can be pretty tedious, but there are some guides out there on how to do that. And the last thing you're going to need is a copy of UniBeast itself. This is the program we're going to use to create the bootable drive. In order to do that, go ahead and head over to TonyMacX86.com, register if you're not already, go to the download section, which is right under Downloads, Software, and then come down here to UniBeast, which is right down here. Of course you want Mountain Lion. You can use Lion if you want, but Mountain Lion is just the most compatible and, in my opinion, all around better. So we'll go ahead and we'll download this. And this is a relatively small file, so it really shouldn't take all that long. And now once that's done and we have everything we need, now what I'm going to do is open up Disk Utility. So I'll come up to Spotlight, Disk Utility, and now you want to find that partition or that flash drive over here to the left. And what you want to do is go over to Erase, and we're going to format it as a Mac OS Extended Journaled Partition. I'm going to call it UniBeast. Click Erase, and erase. And now that we have that drive partitioned correctly, we can now begin the UniBeast process. So I'm going to close out of Disk Utility, and before going on, make sure that you have that OS X Mountain Lion installer in your Applications folder. If you downloaded it right from the Mac App Store, this will happen automatically, so there's no need to worry there. But if this is not here, then it simply won't work for you. So now we're going to go to the Downloads, we're going to extract the UniBeast, opened up right here, and we'll go ahead and run it. So we'll just click through, continue, 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 agree. And now we're going to select that drive that we just formatted. Click continue. And if you need like legacy USB support, or you're trying to do this on a laptop, then go ahead and check those. But I assume most of you guys are going to build your own machine, in which I highly recommend. And so there's no need to check those. So we'll click continue, install, type that extremely secure password of yours, and we'll go ahead and install. Now I do want to say that the progress bar on this is highly inaccurate, so is the counter. You'll see down here it can really depend on the speed of your flash drive, but I've seen it get as high as it'll say 20 hours, but in reality it only takes about 15 minutes or so. So just let that finish, and when it's done, you'll know. So after about 15 or 20 minutes or so, the UniBeast installer has completed, so go ahead and hit close. And if you go ahead and just preview your flash drive, it could be a little bit different, but you should have anywhere from about 2.5 to 3 gigabytes free. Now this is just a little bit of a pro tip that I've really gotten used to doing. When you go ahead and create your new machine with the UniBeast, chances are more than likely that you're not going to have a fully functional system, and even if you do, you're still going to need to install the bootloader and everything to make it bootable. So what I like to do is open up the UniBeast drive, and since we have that free space, that 2 gigabytes or so, what we can do is actually put MultiBeast or any other kernel extensions or anything else right on here so that we don't have to download them later onto the new machine. So to do that is very simple. I've already come in here and downloaded a few things, like for example MultiBeast, so I'll go ahead and open that, and MultiBeast will open, and I'm simply just going to copy it right onto the root of the drive. I also went ahead and downloaded KextBeast, so I'll just move that right over to here as well. And of course, if you have any other applications or anything else on your hard drive that you want to have on the new machine, feel free to copy them over right to here and you'll have them as soon as your new installation is complete. There's nothing more frustrating than being on a brand new machine and you need to download a driver, but your Ethernet driver doesn't work and so you have no internet access. This is a really nice, handy way around that. It's also worth pointing out that there's more on this flash drive than just this installer file. Just to the naked eye, it would look like that you could just simply, copy this right over to the flash drive. That's not how it works, and to prove it, I'll go ahead and I'll show all the hidden files and folders. So I have an app right here that's very convenient, show hidden files. I'll go ahead and show the files. And as you can see, there's folders and folders and folders. We have the mock kernel right here, which is the default kernel that OS X will load. And what's another really important folder is this extra folder here. You can actually open that, and if your machine needs additional boot arguments, then you can actually open this with text edit. So we'll simply do that. And here you can see various things. So if you need more kernel flags, you can add those right here without having to manually type them in when we boot from the drive. But fortunately for me, my system works with all the defaults, so I'm just going to go ahead and leave that. Now let's go ahead and boot up from this guy. The machine I'll be using for this video is representative of a pretty standard machine that most of you guys probably have. A Z77 based motherboard, an Ivy Bridge Intel Core i3, 8GB of memory, and the built-in HD 4000 graphics. Now that everything has been set up, insert the UniBeast drive into any USB 2.0 port and turn your machine on. Once your machine is on and you see your BIOS splash screen, you'll want to hit the F12 key to get into your boot devices. Keep in mind that this key may be different for different branded motherboards. Once you're at the boot devices menu, navigate to the flash drive or partition that contains UniBeast and hit enter. Once you've done that, you'll be greeted with the Chimera bootloader. If your machine needs any additional arguments and you haven't specified them in that boot.plist file, you'll need to type them in here. To enter them, simply start typing. For help with what flags your machine may need, check out my Hackintosh hardware series to see if I've covered the board that you're using. I also have a 24/7 IRC chat with people that are also pretty familiar with the Hackintosh. If all else fails, Google is always your friend. Once you've entered any kernel flags you may need, simply hit enter over the UniBeast option. From there, go ahead and check out part 4 of my Hackintosh from start to finish series for a complete walkthrough. If you found this video helpful, be sure to let me know by giving that like button a quick karate chop. I'm at CPU Kid on Twitter. Also be sure to check out RocheTechnology.com, and I hope to see you guys back here really soon.